Roxo Media House.
Welcome back on another edition of State of the Frogs with Coach Jamie Dixon. This is season 2, the wrap-up episode. We'll be talking with Coach and our sponsor with Autobahn Porsche. Thank you. And Coach, thanks for sitting down with us. Talking about your summer a little bit. What's been going on as far as downtime? Any downtime for you?
Yeah, I don't know. There's downtime. You know, we go, if you really break it down, there's 9 weeks in summer school in June and July. Practice 8 of those. We're in week 3 now of practices. We'll practice next week. We'll take that 4th of July week off, and then 4 more after that. So, you know, it's pretty much year-round. May we have them here. Generally, we're doing recruiting in May. Some recruiting, bringing guys in on visits. And that's probably the biggest difference now is we have a lot more visits in April and May. Okay. And we're recruiting, obviously, players, the transfers. And that's really the biggest difference. You know, you really put you're really putting all your stuff in June and July when you practice because you got all new guys. So it's not really kind of a maintenance thing. It's kind of, you know, see what you have, adapt to what you have, adjust. You know, as I say now, there's not really programs now. You kind of, or systems, you kind of adjust to your talent, your players that you bring in. So, you know, you're generally going to have to think of the terms you're going to have them for 1 year. That's really how you have to look at it. Right. And, you know, certain number of kids are recruited with just 1 year of eligibility too. So, you know, it's fine. I was a junior college coach, and you know, in some ways that's what we're doing. I've played in the G League and 6-4, like so. You know, new teams, new guys. That's kind of how things work, really, throughout the most levels of basketball. Mm-hmm. And so it's not that much difference. I mean, really, it's funny now that the NBA has become the stability place where you get guys for 4 or 5 year contracts. Yeah. Here we used to, but now it's a different world, and you know, you adjust, and you know, that's what's fun about doing what we do. It's been a whole lot different than when I started.
Okay. So with the recruiting process, how has that been going, and how do you approach that when you're recruiting?
Well, I mean, we're still figuring it out. I mean, obviously, it's the rules have changed from 1 year to the next. You know, you could only transfer one time a year ago. Now it's unlimited. You've got NIL. Really, I mean, it's, you know, you can cut down recruiting, and it always has been to a degree. You know, there's certain kids, however it may have been done. I'm not saying the coach was giving them the money, but whether it be shoe companies, whether it be, you know, a coach hiring a guy, whatever it may be, there was generally somebody was getting something. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you kind of skirted the rules a little bit, but now it's really kind of point blank what it is. And you know, certainly there's some fit and style of play, as I say, but at the end of the day, you know, it's just like with any industry or any business, people generally go where somebody's going to pay them more money than the other place, and when all things are the same.
Okay. And as the recruiting we're talking about, we have a lot of new additions that's come in so far, and how have they fared out as far as adjusting to your program and the atmosphere and the culture here at TCU?
Well, we just finished our 3rd week, so really we call that like 12 summer practices, an hour. So not really practices, really workouts is what we call them, summer workouts, 4 each week, spread them out during those weeks. And it's good because we want to give them that 3-day weekend sometimes. This year we broke it up. This week we broke it up, took Wednesday off. So there's different reasons. We've got the recruiting this weekend, TABC event. So a lot of the guys will stick around, maybe go see their friends or their high school playing in that. Texas Association of Basketball Coaches, all the Texas high school teams are playing up here. So, you know, you adjust really every week's different. You kind of figure out what it is, but you're just trying to keep stacking days and improving and in every aspect. Recruiting's nonstop. Scheduling's a big part of right now. I think scheduling's moved back a little bit because teams are filling their rosters. You don't know who everybody has, but you know, as of now, really like where our schedule's at. We're looking to hit a home run on these last couple games, but that's what we're working on. So it's we'll watch film, we'll meet as a staff here, talk about today's practice, and get ready for Monday's practice.
That sounds good, man. And then speaking of the new additions, when State of the Frogs continues, we'll come back and be talking with forward Micah Robinson here on State of the Frogs Season 2, the wrap-up show, sponsored by our friends at Autobahn Porsche.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
Back here on State of the Frogs with Coach Jamie Dixon, we're here with forward guard Micah Robinson. Man, thanks for sitting down, chopping it up with us for a little bit, man. We want to just, welcome you to the program and everything, and just kind of talk to you a little bit. And you came from Oak Hill Academy. That's one of the top programs in, the country and everything. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience there and, what that was like?
Yeah, so it's always a funny question every people ask about that. I mean, for people who have been there, they'll know what I mean, but like it's rough out there because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's up in the mountains. The Wi-Fi is not that good. The closest Walmart is like a 40-minute drive. So it's really out there in the middle of nowhere. But I really feel like I enjoy my time out there because for me, it really allowed me to like focus on what I needed to focus on to prepare myself for this level. Because out there, really the only thing we were able to do was, of course, be in the gym or be in our room doing our schoolwork or just doing stuff like that. So that really allowed me to lock in, on my basketball and my schoolwork, of course, and really just help me prepare for this next level. So I'm really grateful for my time there.
Nice. So you're talking about your work ethic. Like, what does practice for you on your own look like for you?
Yeah, so really lately, me and the coaches have been working on my catch and shoot shooting and kind of like trying to speed up my release because I had built a habit of back in high school I would like dip my shot too much, and so right now we're really focusing on trying to get rid of that dip and trying to just get it and go up with so I can get it up quickly. So really just a lot of reps of that. We've been doing a lot of ball handling, just working on like attacking off the dribble, because I feel like that's a lot of situations I'm gonna be in this year, playing off of closeouts and stuff like that. So really just finishing around the rim and a whole bunch of shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you talk about high school and everything. You're from Frisco.
Yeah.
And you played on Southern Assault. That was your AAU team.
Yeah.
I was the Team Texas guy. I don't know
Yes,
if you're
sir.
still around.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your growing up, in Texas and everything, and how was that for you?
Yeah, so originally I wasn't all basketball. I was really football growing up because I thought I was gonna be a football player. But I mentioned it before. But as I got taller, that I really realized I wasn't gonna be able to be a football player or be what I wanted to be as a football player. So that's when I really transitioned to basketball. And then of course just playing with the Southern Assault program. They really allowed my game to grow so much. Because they just put so much trust in me. And they really allowed me to play through my mistakes, and that really allowed me to grow into the player I am today because just the platform like put me on, and then everything that they offered me like just throughout development wise stuff like that, they've really helped me, and they've been a huge part of where I am today.
Okay, what position did you play in football?
In football, I was a running back in football.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the process and coming to TCU. What was your decision? What was your final decision? I mean, you had schools like Kansas, Texas Tech. You had a lot of big schools, but you chose TCU.
Yeah, it was really a hard decision, because of course it was just such an important decision for my life, because this was really probably the most important decision of my life up to date so far, because this is really where I'm starting like the first main chapter of my life, I guess, going to college and then starting my both academic and college career, because this is going to set me up for my life after basketball.
Right.
So this was really a hard decision, but I mean, when it really came down to it, of course, it was really two main things, because of course the basketball stuff, but then also this TCU has both the school and the basketball part because, of course, the Merriex business is one of the top business programs in the country. So I feel like that alongside with just the basketball part, I really feel like it fit me, because Coach Dixon's style of play, he likes to get up and down and run. That's why I feel like I'm at my best, if it's running to the corner, getting an open shot or getting lobs on transition, that's really where my bread and butter is. And then, of course, just my relationship with all the assistants, I feel like I have a really good relationship with every single person on the staff. So it was really just a no-brainer. This isn't when I really thought about it and put all the logistics stuff together. So it was a clear-cut decision after I had to break it down a little bit.
Good. And so you're majoring in business. What would you like to do with that?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to be majoring in communications with the minor in business, entrepreneurship, and innovation.
Okay.
And as of right now, I have to be honest with you, I'm really just gonna play it by ear and just figure it out as I go along, because I haven't really put too much thought into what I really want to do.
Okay.
But I feel like just with the connections I'm gonna be able to make here, I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of good people around me that are gonna help me find my career path after basketball. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Nice. And so now the upcoming season, coming into the Big 12, TCU, you're going to have some big games this year. What can the fans expect from Micah Robinson this season?
Someone who's gonna play hard. I really pride myself in finding my role and specializing in my role, because I feel like every team needs somebody who knows how to do that, And so whatever Coach Dixon needs me to do, that's what I'm gonna do the best of my ability. So whether that's getting every rebound or attempting to get every rebound, that's what I'm gonna do. Of course, I talk about making open shots. I feel like I can shoot it at a high clip. So I'm gonna bring a lot of shooting to the team, a lot of floor spacing, a lot of high flying action in the transition. I feel like if you catch me on the right wing, I told the guards to start up every time, I'm gonna go get it. And so definitely just a hard worker who's gonna be willing to do whatever coach needs me to do to help the team succeed in the year.
And if anybody that you may pattern your game off after, who would you say you would pattern your game after? Definitely
somebody that TCU fans should be familiar with. He's gonna be up here this weekend. Actually, his name's Desmond Bain.
Okay. All right.
Coach Benford. He would always when he was recruiting me, he would always show kind of how our games are kind of similar and how they could develop me to get to where he was when he was here before he went on to do great things in the league. So
right.
That's really somebody that I'm trying to model my game after, kind of, because of course in the same system, we kind of have like the same body build and stuff like that. So I feel like if I can take some bits and pieces of what he does well and combine it with things that I do well,
right.
I feel like I'll set myself up to be pretty successful.
That's pretty good. At 6'6" with a clip like
Yes,
Desmond
sir.
Bain, that'll be good, man.
Yep.
Well, we wish you the best this season, all the best, and good luck. And when we come back, we'll be talking with Coach Dixon about the upcoming season when the State of the Frogs continues. I'm your host, Bingo Merriex.
Welcome to the Squire Shop.
We are locally owned and operated since 1994.
We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service.
We do custom clothing all the way to more casual, Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that.
We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
Simply the best barbecue in Fort Worth. Dine in, catering, or drive-through. 2900 Montgomery, just off I-30. Remember, the best barbecue in Fort Worth is at Railhead Smokehouse.
We're lucky to have a collective that's as strong and as powerful as the Flying T Club. It's a big deal for us. It is a game changer. I would just encourage any fans out there to support it. Everyone asks me, what's the biggest priority? And I say, NIL is big. Please jump on board, show these student athletes how much they mean to you. The thing about NIL is I think there's a right and a wrong way to do it, and the Flying T Club's do it the right way. Let's keep winning. Join the Flying T Club today.
Back on State of the Frogs with Coach Jamie Dixon, Season 2, the wrap-up show. We'd like to thank Micah Robinson for sitting down with us. And, Coach, as we talk about the new additions and coming in and everything as far as the workouts goes, as far as the training, how is the individual training as far as the guys coming in? How have they adjusted to that?
Well, I mean, it's an adjustment every day. I mean, you learn, you get better. You're playing against older guys. I mean, they were where they came from in high school. Generally, they're the oldest, most experienced guys. Now they're the least experienced guys and the youngest players. So, that usually takes some getting used to, and they're used to being the best player, and now they're not the best player, and it's an adjustment in how you handle it. And but as I tell guys, when they were a freshman in high school, they were a backup to that senior, or they weren't even on the team. They were on the JV team or whatever it may be. So 4 years later, that guy got better, and you got better, but he's still 3 years older than you, so he had more experience with it. So, certainly there's some exceptions, and there's guys that are ready to go more than others, but there's a constant desire to get better. That's what we try to instill. We're trying to, get the message across how hard you have to run to be a transition, fast-breaking team like we've established here. And everybody's coming here because they want to run, but when they get here, they don't quite know what running is.
Right.
And so it's an adjustment for them. Transition defense is always an adjustment for any guys, and then team defense. What we're trying to do on the defensive end as a team, as a unit, and every school, every system is slightly different terminology. So even if you got some experienced guys, they've got to make some adjustments as well. So, but again, what I try to get across to our guys that these aren't big changes. You just got to get the terminology. You got to get the slight different positions. It's a they call the NBA copycat league. I mean, we copy the NBA stuff, what they're doing, and we're all doing pretty much the same thing. It's just who does it better, who makes the least mistakes at those simple things, and is the team that wins. And I talked a point today. Really, the team that lost today on the floor was the team that made the most mistakes. They lost rather than the other team win, and that's what you got to prevent against and work to accomplish.
Yeah. And, with the workouts and everything, I know with your job as far as the upcoming season, the upcoming schedule is almost complete pretty much. You got some big games coming up. Got Michigan, got a tournament, the Thanksgiving tournament a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about that and the upcoming season? Yeah,
we're going to go out to California. As you know, we might like going west. We've drawn well when we've gone there. So this is a new event. Had an event last year as part of this in Palm Springs at their new arena down there that's beautiful. We're excited about it. A number of teams are going to be out there. They've got different pods, and so it's Santa Clara, Washington, Colorado State is the event. We've got Michigan lined up in a home-and-home. That took some work and some things, so we're excited about that. I think that's another indicator of where our program is at. And we're still in that Big East challenge, which, I think I was the guy that first mentioned, let's do a challenge with the Big East. That was 8 years ago when I first got here. When we had 10, they had 10 teams. But just the challenges haven't worked, to be honest with you, the inconsistency. And they never do work because the realignment, the changing teams. And to be honest with you, we've played, the same team, Xavier, Georgetown, and I'm drawing a blank on the other team that we've played. Like, we didn't play the whole league, and we've played them twice. So again, not exactly what we had been promised, not exactly what we wanted. The dates haven't been ideal. Like, we're bringing ours when our students aren't here. I mean, it just hasn't worked. So, I think we got Michigan at the right date, right time, and we'll get the return at the right time. And so, it's just you need the flexibility, you need the freedom, and we love playing a game in Dickey, still finalizing that. So, scheduling, there's people have no idea the amount of time that goes into scheduling. Right. There's a lot of head fakes and pump fakes, and in basketball, there's even more in scheduling. So it's a challenge every single day.
Man, so finishing up the scheduling and everything, and a last thing is the Frogs in the Pros. E-Man is trying to make his mark and pursuing his pro career. Have you been able to talk to him a little bit in his process? Mike Miles finishing up his first year as a pro. Have you been able to talk to a couple of those guys?
Yeah, it's that time of the year. Everybody hears about the guys that have the 5-year contracts, the 4 years, trying to get the max deals. We've got Desmond in that situation. Kenrich has a long-term contract, and then there's the other guys, and that's probably the other, 75% of the players that are battling for those 1-year contracts and trying to get a 2-year contract. And it's just, there's always the problem with this league is once you get there, there's a whole new crop coming the next year and then the next year and then the next year. And so they're not expanding. They're not adding more spots on the team. It's just a hard thing to do. And as I point out at TCU, I kind of have to put everything in as we try to bring people like how this works and what it is, and like this isn't like other sports. Like the whole world plays this thing. It's like soccer, men's soccer. Like the whole world plays men's soccer. We don't have a soccer team, men's soccer team, but like basketball, like the whole world. Like Africa plays it, and and South America, Europeans are putting out players left and right. And France is just loaded, and football, we play here and nowhere else. You know what I mean? Like baseball, it's they're not playing in Europe. They're not. The size figures itself out in the world, and the tall guys end up playing and getting a ball in their hands at some point in their life. At about 12 years old, they've generally figured that out. So it's really hard. That's my point. It's really hard, and there's always a new crop coming in. Of really good players, and the whole world plays. So really, the other challenge is overseas is not what it used to be. You got out in time because they're so good over there in Europe, as we know. The last couple NBA, MVPs, they didn't grow up in New York City or Texas or what. They grew up on the other side of the pond, and. It's just a very, very challenging thing to do. And it's one thing to make it. It's another thing to hang on for a couple of years. And it's a whole long time to make those max contracts, those 2 contracts, as they say, getting that second contracts where you establish yourself. And that's why it's the game it is. And it keeps growing is because the whole world loves to play it.
Yeah. And you talk about, the max contracts. One of your gifted players that's playing, Desmond Bain, he has one of his camps here on Sunday. Yeah. Will you be able to peek your head a little bit?
Going to be around. We got a recruit in town, so we'll be stopping in. I got to go recruiting in that TABC, like you said, so I'll be on the but the good thing is I'm just hopping in the car, sleep in my own bed tonight, and I go see these events, the Colony and different gyms out there in the SWAC. It's what we do. It's what we love doing. And, it's just different now with recruiting the high school kid. It's a challenge. We become more of it now because that 5th year COVID year super senior is, but, the new challenge is now kids, they're fighting to get 6, 7, 8 years of college basketball or playing, and so that's the real concern for the NCAA now is that it must not be that bad if they're fighting for year 7 and playing in college. So we're fortunate to be where we're at. It's at TCU. We're excited about the growth of the university. We're excited about the Big 12. All kinds of great prospects for us going down in what we do as a university and as athletic department. So, we come a long way. We fought, we battled. We weren't given a land grant university. We're not getting money from the state. We're not getting oil money from the government, and it's a battle, and we continue to fight, but we have to keep fighting and keep battling to sustain it because we are the second smallest Power 5, and we're the smallest of the 3 main conferences now. And I hate to say it, but one of the conferences I used to be ACC, they're a notch below us, and as far as stability, but there's great. I think synergy between our conference, our 16 teams. There's a belief in our direction, our commissioner, and there's a lot of excitement in the All-State 12 or 16, whatever we're calling it. So as we go forward.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach, for stopping by, talking to us. Best of luck this season. This has been another episode of State of the Frogs, the wrap-up show, Season 2. We'd like to thank you for joining us and all our friends at Autobahn Porsche for sponsoring us for Frogs Today at Rock's Hole Media House. I've been your host, Bingo Merriex. This is Coach Jamie Dixon on State of the Frogs Today.
Roxo Media House.